Hello and welcome to the Digital Divide Explained, the podcast where your host is Stewart. Stewart explores the gap between those who have access to information and communication technologies and those who don't. In each episode, Stewart will discuss the causes, consequences, and solutions of the digital divide, as well as share some stories and insights from people who are affected by it. Whether you are a tech enthusiast, a social activist, or just curious about the world, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Digital Divide Explained. I am your host, Stewart Milimu, ilondanga. In this episode, we're diving deep into a topic that affects us all in the age of technology, the limited payload capacity of drones. You might be wondering, why should we care about drones? Well, the answer lies in their increasingly crucial role in our lives. Whether it's for capturing breathtaking aerial photos, delivering packages to our doorstep, or even saving lives in remote areas, drones are becoming an integral part of our digital world. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of drone payloads, let's first understand what we mean by payload capacity. Payload capacity is simply the weight a drone can carry, which includes everything from cameras and sensors to cargo and equipment. It's a critical factor that determines a drone's versatility and usability across various applications.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why did the computer go to school? It wanted to get bite-sized knowledge.
So how does the limited payload capacity of drones impact our lives? Let's explore this in the context of some real-world scenarios. Imagine you are a professional photographer or videographer. You want to capture stunning aerial shots for your clients. Drones are the perfect tool for the job, right? Well, yes, but there's a catch. Drones with limited payload capacity can restrict the size and weight of the camera equipment you can use. This means you might have to compromise on the quality of your images and videos.
Drones, also known as unmanned aerial vehicles, have revolutionized various sectors, from agriculture to photography, due to their versatility and ease of use. However, one of the significant limitations of drones is their limited payload capacity. The payload of a drone refers to the extra weight a drone can carry in addition to its own weight, which includes cameras, sensors, or delivery packages.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. How do computers communicate in the wild? Through Wi-Fi signals.
Now, let's talk about a topic that's been making headlines lately. Drone delivery services. The idea of getting our packages delivered by drones is exciting, but it's not all smooth sailing. Drones' limited payload capacity means they can only carry relatively small packages. So while your latest online shopping spree might arrive at your doorstep by drone, larger or heavier items are still a challenge. Another vital application of drones is infrastructure inspection. Think of bridges, power lines, and other critical structures. Drones can be a game changer here, allowing for quick and efficient inspections. But wait, there's a catch. Due to their limited payload capacity, drones can only carry small inspection equipment. This limitation can make it challenging to inspect large or complex structures effectively.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why did the smartphone become a detective? It was great at cell analysis.
Now, let's talk about saving lives. Drones are increasingly used in search and rescue operations, especially in remote or challenging terrains. But guess what? Their limited payload capacity means they can only carry a limited amount of life-saving equipment. Imagine being in a critical situation, and the drone sent to rescue you can only carry a small fraction of what's needed. That's the stark reality of the payload limitation.
The payload capacity of a drone is influenced by several factors, including its size, design, and the power of its motors. Larger drones with more powerful motors can typically carry heavier payloads. However, increasing the size and power of a drone leads to increased energy consumption, which can reduce flight time and range. Therefore, drone designers must strike a balance between payload capacity, energy consumption, and flight performance.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. What do you call a computer that's always organized? Well, structured.
Finally, let's consider agriculture, an industry that's seen a remarkable transformation through drone technology. Drones are now used to spray crops, monitor fields, and apply fertilizers with precision. However, the limited payload capacity of drones means they can only cover a small area at a time. This makes agricultural drone applications time-consuming and less efficient than they could be. Now that we've seen how the limited payload capacity of drones affects various aspects of our lives, let's move on to the exciting part: how this challenge is being addressed through the latest developments in drone technology.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why did the computer start a gardening blog? It wanted to help people grow their digital knowledge.
One significant advancement is the use of lighter materials in drone construction. Manufacturers are incorporating materials like carbon fiber to reduce drone weight. This allows drones to carry more payload without compromising performance, making them more versatile.
The limited payload capacity of drones has implications for their use in various applications. For instance, in delivery services, drones can only carry small packages, limiting their use to lightweight items. Similarly, in surveillance or photography, drones can only carry lightweight cameras and sensors, which may limit the quality of the data or images they can capture.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. How does a computer stay cool in the summer? It uses its fan.
Another game-changing development is the creation of more powerful motors for drones. These robust motors can lift heavier payloads, expanding the range of applications drones can excel in. From demanding search and rescue missions to agricultural work, these motors are changing the game. But it doesn't stop there. Larger batteries are also in the spotlight. These batteries provide drones with longer flight times, enabling them to carry more payload over extended distances. This is a game changer for applications that require sustained operations.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why did the smartphone apply for a job in construction? Because it wanted to build connections.
Now that we've covered the technological side, let's consider the key stakeholders affected by the limited payload capacity of drones. Drone operators are on the front lines of this challenge. They need to understand the payload limitations of their drones to operate safely and within legal boundaries. Overloading a drone can have dire consequences, including accidents and damage.
Several strategies are being explored to overcome the payload limitations of drones. One approach is to improve battery technology to provide more power without significantly increasing weight. Another strategy is to use swarm technology where multiple drones work together to carry a larger payload. However, these solutions also present new challenges such as increased complexity and the need for more sophisticated control systems.
You're tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. What's a computer's favorite car? A Byte Mobile.
Government regulators play a critical role in shaping the drone industry. They must establish clear regulations regarding payload capacities to ensure safety and security in drone operations. The rules they set will determine how drones can be used in various applications. Lastly, the public needs to be aware of the potential risks posed by drones carrying heavy payloads. Understanding the capabilities and limitations of drones is essential for individuals to make informed decisions and exercise caution when drones are in use nearby.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why did the computer go to the art gallery? It wanted to appreciate some high-res art.
In conclusion, the limited payload capacity of drones is a challenge that's being met head-on with innovative solutions. As technology continues to advance, drones are becoming more versatile and capable of carrying heavier payloads. This opens up new possibilities across a wide range of industries.
Regulations also play a role in the payload capacity of drones. In many countries, drones that carry heavy payloads are subject to stricter regulations, including the need for special permits and increased safety requirements. These regulations can limit the payload capacity that can be practically utilized, even if the drone is technically capable of carrying a heavier load.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. How do computers make decisions? They click on options.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few more strategies to overcome the limited payload capacity of drones. First, consider using multiple drones for a single payload. This approach is particularly useful for applications that require a substantial payload, such as search and rescue or large-scale agricultural tasks.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why was the laptop so good at basketball? It had a great touchpad.
Second, think about employing hybrid drones. These drones combine electric motors with gasoline engines, providing the power needed to transport heavier payloads over longer distances.
In conclusion, while drones offer significant potential in various fields, their limited payload capacity is a significant hurdle that needs to be overcome. Advances in technology and changes in regulations may help address this issue in the future, enabling drones to carry heavier payloads and expand their potential applications.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. What do you call a computer that's always tired? A screensaver.
Lastly, explore the use of vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL drones. These drones can take off and land vertically, eliminating the need for a runway. They are versatile, making them ideal for use in urban areas. And that brings us to the end of this episode of the Digital Divide Explained. I hope you've gained a deeper understanding of the challenges and potential solutions related to the limited payload capacity of drones.
You are tuned into the Digital Divide Explained podcast. Why was the smartphone so good at math? Because it had a lot of apps for calculations.
Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. Feel free to reach out with your questions or suggestions for future topics. Until next time, this is Stewart Milimu Ilondanga signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our pursuit of a more connected and equitable world, let us remember that knowledge is power. By understanding the digital divide and its implications, we can collectively work toward solutions that ensure no one is left behind in the digital age. Stewart was your host and guide on this podcast, Digital Divide Explained. It is not just a matter of providing internet access. It is about empowering individuals, strengthening communities, and fostering equitable development. Stay informed, stay inspired, and remember, a connected world is a better world. Stewart is now signing off from Digital Divide Explained. Until next time, take care.